Hop inside an Audi, then I hit the dash. Shawty know I only care about the cash. Big dance, big sticks, big rash. She asked me how I got it, said I got it like that. I get it when I wanna. Smoking marijuana, keep it hotter than a sauna. Smoking till the sun up. They asked me if I have bands, I said bring your funds up. They texted me to a challenge and they didn't show up. Where they at though? Pop out at your party and I got the stick tuck. You just walked out on your skateboard looking like a dumb fuck. Mama told me get a bag and I said run it up with the naughty and a jag, but I need a bench.
Morning guys, morning.
Cheese, big ass peso. Don't fuck with me.
Let me know is the stream clear enough? Is the music too loud? Is my mic okay?
I'll make all of these niggas mad. They might scream and cry and vent. I might stack up 100 racks and buy me an elephant. I might send you another fact. Could you tell me if it's sent? Hop inside an Audi, then I hit the dash. Shawty know I only care about the cash. Big dance, big sticks, big rash. She asked me how I got it, said I got it like that. I get it when I wanna. Smoking marijuana, keep it hotter than a sauna. Smoking till the sun up. They asked me if I have bands, I said bring your funds up. They
morning, morning.
to a challenge and they didn't show up.
Yeah, like I said, let me know if my mic is loud enough. If the music is quiet enough, but still you can hear it in the background, and if the stream quality is good enough.
I'll be damned if I never put in work. You a broke ass bitch, your pockets hurt, and I carry an Uzi. No vert, chillin' in a jacuzzi.
Alright, let me tweak that.
Now me on the dash, driving down the highway. Only care about the cash, what the fuck can I say? I've been waiting for the blow up, call me Pompeii.
Let me know if that's low enough. Great, great. How's everyone doing? How's your morning? Look at some of the pairs from the watch list. So AED JPY just, you know, it just started to sell off. Never got a retracement, but we'll kind of see how it plays out. It's just been very choppy. So we'll see if it just comes into this area of demand, and potentially we could look to buy this further up. AED NZD still waiting for a retracement on this. I get the shit that you go through. It's probably my fault if I ghost you. I push away people I'm close with. Stand on and stand on no shit. Yeah, we took a pick. Yeah, we've had this 4-hour push up, so I'm expecting price to probably. Let me just adjust this. Why this is like this. Background. So they're probably gonna see if price can approach this, then create a higher low to start trading this back up. So nothing on that quite yet. GG, I kind of missed this. I was looking at this actually, and again, if price kind of gives me a retracement here, we could see a pushback into this area of supply up here. So if you look at GJ's kind of been on the hourly chart. We had this push to the upside, and then price came into this area of demand. We haven't yet mitigated this 70 to 79% fully. Not that price always has to, but then when you come down on a 15-minute, you know, where was the last bit of structure? The last bit of structure that we had was we had this low pullback, and then we had this low. Then all of this has been consolidation based off of this drop here. Now, again, I was just not on the charts, but I marked this up. I saw this morning. You could see as London session opened, we've kind of been in this consolidation. We had this push above this previous area of supply. So we had supply here. So you can see price came right into that area of supply, and we had a, if I just mark this out, we had a poke above, which kind of gave us a change of character. Now, if I mark the last high to the low, you could perfectly see we have this area of imbalance that sits right between here. And this is a nice area for a pullback. And now, what I was looking at was a potential trade from up here back into here, which would kind of then relate to something like this: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we kind of come down and mitigate this level deeper. Now I just couldn't get in, and you could perfectly see where I marked up. There was the low point that caused this previous high to break over here, and you could see here where supply failed, and then this was the demand that was created in this push up, and then price came down here, and again all we wanted to see was a bit of support created, and price kind of created that. So the trade should have been, if I was going to enter, the trade would have been somewhere down here. You know, keep my stops below there, start to target these highs over here. Would have been up like 15 pips at the moment. Just never managed to get into it, so I'll kind of see how this plays out. If price gets back up into here, I'll be looking to short on a lower time frame. Morning Anchor. CAD JPY, we've not had that retracement yet. Still waiting for price to kind of come back into this region to short. And again, only Monday, start of the week, so Euro AUD, as I kind of mentioned, you know, you could see price perfectly. Now, if this was, if this wasn't in this high time frame area of supply, this would have been a perfect area for a continuation buy. You could see we had this hourly low, hourly push up, perfect retracement to fill out this imbalance and mitigate this area of demand. Aligns nicely with our fib confluence, and price pushed off to the upside. Now, why is my, this does this sometimes, just need to add my indicator back in. Just edit this, get rid of that, get rid of that. There's that. There's that. So you could see what did we get here? So in this downtrend, see prices creating lower lows and lower highs. And then boom, change of character. So now this is the area of demand that I'm talking about. Price had a nice change of character here. Look where price closed. You know, keep an eye on that. Price never at all of these points, never breached that area of supply, sorry, that fib confluence. And here is the demand that sits within it. So we bounced into this region a couple of times, and we could have sorry, give me a sec. Yeah, we could have caught a perfect move here, change of character to the upside. Overall price is bullish, and you can see price is away. But again, you know, it would have been difficult for me to trade this because we are in a higher time frame area of supply, which is here. So it'll be counterintuitive to try trading that. So again, I am still waiting for a shift. So now this is the low point here, and this is our new high. So this uptrend in a pullback is perfectly being respected. As soon as we see a change, we can look to start shorting this. If we can see the change, if price decides to, if we look at this on a higher time frame, You know, this is a key area of reversal if price is going to continue, because this was our big push down, this was our retracement, so this is where I'm expecting price to go before we do this. Now we have a lot of liquidity resting below here, starting to create this trend line liquidity, but we need that shift. Before that, no trade. You could see GJ, missed that GJ move here. Would have been up 20 pips on that. Let's have a look at some of the other pairs. What else do we have? Euro CAD. Euro CAD's just a perfect push off of demand. So again, similar kind of concept with Euro CAD as Euro AUD. We have seen the change below. This is the key area of reversal. But we do need to see, you know, we do have this unmitigated supply up here with this imbalance. So price did react to this supply from the left here, as you can see. Why is this coming across? Yeah, so you can see price reacted to this supply as a catalyst for a pullback. So what I'm expecting now is price to now continue higher to mitigate this, and then we could see something like this happening. So again, some patience, you know, waiting for some of the trades to set up before we can look to kind of get in. Euro GBP, same thing. It's just kind of hovering around here, not much happening with this. If there's any pairs or anything you guys want me to have a look at, feel free to drop them in the chat. So my Euro USD, my TP was hit here. So you can see all I targeted was the retracement off of this sell-off here, perfectly into here. Not that I don't think it's going to continue higher, but you know, there was my trade, which is like 1 to 7.6R, which I'm pretty happy with. So now Euro USD, you know what we're looking at, not much until we kind of don't either break above, like I said, there's the hourly high that we need to break above, or price will just, from here, it's going to roll over and create a new low, which again, if it creates a new low from here, so currently we've got current structure in Euro USD, lower low, lower high, and then, you know, we've created these internal higher lows. So if price from here now creates a new low, then this will be our structural high. But if price from here decides to continue higher and break above this region, then we can look for retracements and deeper continuation. GU coming close to demand. I see GU. What time frame are you looking at demand on? Yeah, I'll have a look at gold cobweb. Are you looking at demand on like the hourly chart, like this region here? So if we look at GU again, GU is kind of, it's, I kind of said it before, it's not here nor there. Currently, we had this low, we had a pullback, we then created this internal high low, we had an internal pullback. So we have been kind of choppy here. So yeah, if you're looking at demand off of this push up here, then yeah, it makes sense. $1.19 Yeah, there is demand down here. So again, if we're looking at the 15-minute chart, so what I was anticipating was we could see price from here continue higher, at least into this pullback region, or sweep out this liquidity and tap into this area of supply, which sits on the 4-hour, and it hasn't yet been mitigated. Now, if we kind of refine that to the 1-hour, it sits above here. Yeah, so we could definitely see that. So what I would want to see is, you'd want to see price coming back into this region. So on the 5-minute chart, it's creating some structure. So if we can see something like this, have a change here, then we could look to trade that to the upside. But yeah, it is approaching that area of demand. Which again, demand kind of sits within this region here. Forgery. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, so I would just wait for that. Like, because below this, pretty much price is efficient. So this is a key area. Now, again, we are creating some liquidity up here. We do still have some areas of imbalance to the left here. So, it's just painting that picture and seeing, right, okay, if we're expecting price to continue higher, what's the logical reason? And we have created some structure here, which is, this was like a 56 pip pullback and a push up. So yeah, price is approaching a decent area to look at some intraday stuff. So gold, I kind of said yesterday, or in my weekly watch list, that this was a key area of reversal for gold. Now I kind of refined that zone down on a 15-minute chart, which was here, which you could see we tapped into. I'm personally looking for gold, and again, it'll be a lower risk entry, but I'm personally looking for gold to retrace back into here. Because on a 15-minute chart, we created this pullback and then we created this new high. Now, what was this pullback? This pullback was like 60 pips. So the riskier entry is a retracement back into this supply to continue shorting, which if I get in up over here, it would be lower risk. But the safer option would be, we had this push up here. Should be a break below this for some retracement, and then what can we start targeting? We can start targeting a pullback off of this big push to the upside, which was this move here. You can see our fib confluence aligns nicely with, we have an area of demand down here, we have an area of demand that's rests between here, and all of this inefficiency. So price could quite nicely come back here before it has its next push to the upside. So again, this is a higher risk entry with this supply here. But I would see, if price comes here, it's not an immediate entry. I would want to see how price rejects this area, because price could quite well tap in deeper into this area of supply and then have a change of character before continuing down. We have had one here, but you just want to be mindful that you still have had this big push to the upside. Looping for sales because of that chop. Will it not go up? We're looking. Personally, I'm looking for shorts here, like intraday. Like overall, I'm expecting price to continue higher. But what have we done? Where have we got the change of character here? We had a change of character to the upside on the hourly chart. So after a change of character, what can we anticipate? We can anticipate a retracement. Price is not likely going to infinitely just continue higher. We could see something like this on the hourly chart. So from an intraday perspective, that just gives us trading opportunities as a pullback trade, and logically understanding, right, where's the likelihood of price headed before it starts to reverse back to the upside. Like I said, slightly riskier entry here, because price could come in and just create a new high and do this before continuing down. or price could come in and break through. So I would want to see a bit more structure potentially form. And like I said, I will see how price reacts if it comes up to this area of supply here. And if on a lower time frame, there's an entry potential there. And that would just align with this key area here. Now what does DXY look like? Pretty sideways, to be fair. Hi, morning coffee. Hope you're well. So NZD CAD, this could be quite nice. There's some shorts into this area here. You can see we've broken out of this area of demand here. We entered this, you know, we're in this pullback. You can see I've marked this low here. We have some demand sitting at the base of this 70 to 79%. So we had this sell off this morning. So you can see a retracement into here. And look at shorts back down into here, which is still a good 60 to 70 pip range. I'm going to set an alert here, see how this plays out. No worries, Ryan. Take it easy, mate. Have a good day. It's pretty much price is efficient here. There's no real reason, you know. Yeah, we have a supply here, but we could see we had this candle wick into this area, so that's pretty efficient. Supply here was mitigated with this push. So now you could probably see price retracing back into here for a next push to the downside on NZD CAD as a pullback. You can see we have demand sitting in here. Inefficiency still hasn't approached our fib confluence. NZD CHF. So NZD CHF is within that area. So we had strong news for CHF this morning. It was inflation was CPI was higher than expected. It was supposed to be expectation, I think, was 0.5%, and it was at 0.7%. So inflation came in higher than it anticipated. But you can see it's holding this area nicely. Do we have on a lower time frame? Yeah, again, I would like to see maybe something like this come in deeper and then have a change of character, or break out of this range and then come back into some sort of newly created demand. Because the problem you get is buying at the base of the zone here, price could just react, come into supply, and then create a new low still within this area of demand and then push up. So you just want to be careful when you're taking aggressive entries. You do want to see some structure forming before you look at trading this. But again, you know, we had this push up. What is that telling us? That's telling us we've entered a pullback off of this move to the downside. So we're in that retracement phase. There's no other zones below this for price to really mitigate, so the expectation should be price to continue into this area. So just wait for some structure to form, and NZD CHF could be a good move. Similar concept with NZD USD. So again, change of character there. If we look at higher time frame, you know, we've entered a pullback off of this big sell-off to the downside. We are in this key area now for price to continue pushing higher. Personally, what I would like to see, price is in this area of demand, so it's mitigated this demand zone. So break above this, supply fails, retracement, and then we could look to get into this. So plenty of setups. Again, people need to get out of a habit of thinking like, you know, it's going to be a setup as soon as we jump on the charts. Sometimes it's about having those, you know. Now price might, if it's like some people think like if that's what you're expecting, why not just trade from here? Because there's never 100% guarantee. You know, once price does that, right now we can see in this pullback we've created this downward structure, and price has maintained that, and price could quite easily come back into this and come deeper into this zone. So if we try aggressively entering here with some tight stops here, we could just get stopped out, and then price ends up heading in our overall direction. But once we see that change from this pullback of a downtrend shift back to the upside, we have a lot more confidence in continuing the overall move to the upside. And that's why I always prefer confirmation entries over aggressive entries any day of the week. That does require a bit of patience, but you know, that's what trading is all about. So NAS, we could see NAS, we have this area of supply that NAS is currently sitting in. Again, the retracement, I'm expecting price to come back down to here to look for buyers. But so far, what do we have on a 15-minute chart? So far, you can see the last retracement was this, and then we had a push up. All this has been is a pullback off of this push up and a reaction off of this supply. So we're just bouncing around here right now. So we do really need this to fail and then some sort of a retracement for an intraday opportunity to short. The higher probability trade is buying from down here because of what we discussed on the weekly watch list as a break to the upside, and price is going to fill out. It should fill out all of these ranges in a 4-hour pullback. Guys, is the stream quality clear? Can you guys hear me fine? Is everything good? Do let me know. Thanks, Damien. Hey, Rayan. Nice to see you. Hey, Mills. Perfect. It's great, guys. So again, today, like, do we have any other news? Let's have a look. So we have some CAD news at 3 p.m. IV PMI. So again, I'm not really keen on entering any AUD positions until tomorrow, because we have their interest rate decision tomorrow. well, it's for me, it's 3:30 a.m. in the UK when that comes out. So the last thing I want to be doing is entering a trade anytime before that. I really want to see that play out and see what happens there, and then kind of take a trade on any AUD pairs that we're kind of looking at. Let's have a look at some of the other pairs and see if there's anything else happening. So nothing on AUD CAD. So AUD CHF, we could see a interesting. So overall, I'm expecting price to push up from this region. We do have a unmitigated demand that rests at the bottom here, so it'll be interesting again to see late tonight. I'll have a look at US 30 in a second. It'll be interesting to see tonight. So you can see in this pullback, so again, here's our push up, here's our retracement, and on a 4-hour chart, we're pretty much holding this structure pretty nicely. So you can do something like this. Boom. They could continue buying this back to the upside. So again, some patience is approaching this area. Again, that's the new sell-off this morning. Why is my... Okay, so I can hear. Let's have a quick look at US 30. I think US 30 is similar to NAS, to be fair. So on the hourly, there's no supply here. Let's see if there's any supply on the lower time frame. The price is currently sitting. So we do have an area of supply here. So again, similar thing. We create this push up. We've had a pullback. I am probably net short on indices like intraday. Back down into 32.717 kind of region as a pullback. Again, like I said, we've had an hourly break to the upside, so we can anticipate a retracement. Now, price is currently reacting off of this demand. Now again, if you want to look at, if you're an aggressive, if you have itchy trigger fingers, you would kind of want to see a failure at this supply. Because we've already had demand fail here, price has mitigated supply, we're reacting to this demand. This demand could be a reaction, this could be a reaction to this demand, and we could see some shorts from this area over here, which seems pretty interesting in all fairness, looking at this. $4 hours, so 4 hour, yeah, we're in a pullback on the 4 hour, from the high to the low. So you can see I've got that area marked up here. So overall, I'm expecting price to pull back into this area, but we've already had the change above, so a retracement for a continuation like this before we net short. So as we've broken the hourly structure here, you know, we could be looking at a retracement. Now demand has failed, we've come to the base of this, so this could be a good area from this supply created to short this. Just need to see how it reacts here. We do have supply sitting up here. delete this. Where would you break structure? Wouldn't that consider leave where you are, where you break structure? When you consider the 1 hour? Yeah, it is. You're right. You're absolutely right. Nicely rectifying me there, Anko. So yeah, if price doesn't hold this region, then again, it's still an aggressive entry, right? Bear in mind, because we haven't taken out the previous low here. So the last low here, we had this retracement, and then we had this high created. So price is come to, you know, we can see some early indications of demand failing and how price is starting to play out. So I could expect, just by knowing price and seeing what price is doing, that price could roll over. But you want to see price rejecting, like if you do go in on entries like this, you have to be lower risk, because we haven't broken structure. There's nothing stopping price to create a higher high, higher low, and then boom, do that. We haven't created a lower low in this market. So, but seeing how price is playing out, how supply is kind of kicking in, demand is failing, a lot of these things are key early indications. So if you ever enter early, once you have the experience to, then you should always be going in with lower risk when it comes to that. Because again, this could be early inducement here. Price may well want to come up to here before selling off. So again, take all of those things into account when you see, especially when we haven't broken structure to the downside. You know, it's the key element in this, you need to remember. But again, if we start to see rejection here and price starts to come down, then you could definitely start to see price coming to the next area of demand here. We have demand here, and then pulling back. But in order for us to be trading a 15-minute pullback at the hourly pullback, which is this current low to this high, we need to see that 15-minute structure change. And right now, this is the low and that's the high. Price hasn't broken that low. Yeah, I just typed in whatever on non-copyright music, and I just played whatever I kind of found. Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah, this is a pretty decent area. I think we can get a nice rejection from here for a continuation down, to be fair. If I look at this area on a 15-minute chart, this supply up over here, you can see pretty much this wick above mitigated this. This is all efficient. This is the last imbalance that isn't efficient. This demand here failed. Price reacting off of this demand but still breached it. and then the next area sits down over here. Again, just want to see some rejections, because you can expect price to always come in and react from an area, but is that a short-lived reaction? You know, do we just get a one candle rejection, then price like this starts to break through, or do we see, you know, more rejections in this region? But these are the questions you'll always ask yourself when you're entering without the break on a higher time frame. Like the 15-minute has not broken this low, so you know we are still we are still in this uptrend. UJ might be something interesting to look at. Let's have a look at UJ. I don't know, UJ is just pretty horrible, to be fair. You know, we created this high, we had a retracement, created a new high, had a retracement into this demand, and now we're doing this. So momentum is still to the upside. Here's demand. Price perfectly reacted to that. So now you'd want to see either, because we know we're in high time frame supply up here. Yeah, if we get a nice rejection candle here, could see something like here, have like stops above there, and then target this next area of demand. You want to see how price is within this area. So UJ, yeah, so UJ, it's created a high, it's reacted to demand. Now we are in, like I said, this is higher time frame supply. So again, if I was to look at entering, which again would still be an aggressive entry because higher time frame is still bullish, I would need price to retrace into this unmitigated supply and see rejection here. So if price continues its way up here, and then I get like a 15-minute change of character back to the downside, then you could look at kind of trading that. We're getting some rejection here. Yeah, so this down into this area of demand is a good trade. US 30. Like I said, based off everything here, based on the hourly shift, based on seeing those rejections, based on seeing the 15-minute pretty much efficient, the next area of demand is down over here. Now if price comes down into this region, if we break below this low here, then a sell-off from here and a retracement would be a much nicer confirmation entry to continue shorting this. So safer option, aggressive option. Go with what works with your risk. But like I said, based on the 15-minute and seeing how price has mitigated everything and demand is failing, this is a good area. But again, if you have taken it, or you are in it, this is a nice area to go to. That's what I'll be targeting. Did I take it? No, I'm just waiting to see what price does over here. If I get a retest of this area, if I get a retest back here and we fail to break above this, then I'll take it. Only because we haven't broken this 15-minute low is why I'm more skeptical. And again, it's more of a riskier entry. This is the original reaction off of this supply. If we come back up to retest and we fail, then I'll enter personally. Has anyone else taken it? Is anyone else waiting? What's your thoughts on it? Let me know. Price is reacting to this mini demand here where we had this wick up rejection. So if we get something like this and a rejection here, it's a better wait. But the much safer bet is wait for the 15-minute break, wait for this to boom break down, come into some demand, retrace, and then look to short. So much better. I was looking at GJ. So GJ's back in that demand, I believe. Yeah, it's back in this demand. So what did we create here? It's at 22 pips, and now we've tapped into this. So again, if GJ can hold this region, then I will still probably look for an entry. Tapped into this once, we've retested but created a new low here, but we're still within our fib confluence, and we're still within that area of demand. And like I said, we had a change here. So GJ is a good one. GJ, I think, like I said, from here, you know, you'd want to keep your stops below this region, kind of into this supply. Give your trade some wiggle room. We do have liquidity down here, so price might just wick down or something to take this. Yeah, as long as price holds this area, like I said, we had a shift above here. This is the key area of the pullback off of this drop here. So, you know, price broke out of this, came back, bounced around, tested this demand, came into our fib confluence, retested here. So as long as we hold this area, we should be good to the upside from here. It's ranging before. Yeah, it is. You know, it has been ranging here, which again is a bit meh, you know. But again, seeing it on like a 15-minute, it's loads of liquidity here. So where we've had this break above this supply here, that could just be an indication that price completes this pullback up here, fills out that imbalance, and then comes down into this area. Again, you probably just want this area to hold. As long as we hold this, we're good. It's US 30 doing. Yeah, GJ's looking good. So you're watching for when you see like area to hold. Just like I've marked up my entire zone, which is this low to this high. Demand is sitting within that fib confluence. I just want this demand and this fib area to hold. I just don't want to see price do this. If it comes below this here, then it's invalid. So you can see we came into this and we tested this area once, but we never came into this fib confluence. We never tapped into that. Now we've come into it and we've tapped into it. So as long as price doesn't just breach through this and break through it, then I'm fine. Like right now it's, you know, it's bouncing around within the area. So as long as price doesn't break below this, I'm good. I'm happy for price to, you know, come around here and do this, and then even on like a 3-minute chart see like some sort of a shift to the upside, and then I'll happily enter the trade. So you could kind of say you're so-called forming some support within this area. See, look at US 30. This is why aggressive entries before seeing structural shift is very dangerous. Look at that. See, this is why wait for higher time frame to break. Is there any pairs anyone's looking at? Anything specific? EJ bullish pullback is looking to come to end soon. EJ. Yeah, well, it is in a high time frame area of supply up here. Again, this is the current low. We're having a reaction off of that. So, if GJ holds here, this will be good. We've come to the base of this pullback. Now, if we could see some momentum here. Yeah, so EJ's at the base of it, so you know we kind of still need to see that shift. NYSE, how long's that open? It's what, like yeah, 45 minutes. Yeah, I should be on. Yeah, I think I got EuroCAD on the list. Yeah, so EuroCAD, like I said, I feel EuroCAD from here is gonna push up into this supply, which is unmitigated with this imbalance, and then wait for some sort of a change to continue shorting. GJ still messing about. Now, if we just have a look at this region and see what did price do in this area, lower time frame. Yeah, so again, perfect example. We would just not have got an entry here. Price just rallied off to the upside, retraced into no man's land, and then just continued pushing higher. So yeah, I'm expecting price to continue here, to come up at least until like 1.46. And then look to trade a pullback off of this on a lower time frame if I can get an entry, and if price can then roll over and break below this, if it does break above and tap into this, then we can look at taking this further down into lower areas here. But right now still bullish in this pullback after this drop. Daily we did have a shift, which here we could see we closed below this region. So we should be good to continue down once price mitigates this last area of supply up over here. Is GJ gonna hold this area? Let's go have a look at US 30. Where's US 30? Yeah, so personally, I'm just going to wait for this. If this low breaks, great. If not, just going to let it be until it does. If the 15-minute structure still stays bullish, just going to let it play out. The problem you face is once price has done created this big push, it's hard to just buy into this as well. You know, because at some point it's going to enter a pullback. So, you know, you don't want to get caught up in the wrong side of it at all. So, you know, it's just one of those pairs you either got to just let it be and continue higher until you get a retracement into the area you're looking at, or you know, you don't want to aggressively counter trend trade, because again, like I said, if you're taking a trade there, early inducement here, and then price start to push back up. Hopefully no one got into US 30 and waited. GJ is looking good. So if anyone should take GJ, GJ is, I would say, good from here up to like 164. I would take partials at 163.654. You're still watching US 30. Yeah, US 30 is risky. Like, this is the last area of supply, but look how strong momentum price is pushing in with here. You know, it's very risky to get involved with that, because you could just see a reaction down to here and then price continues higher. Like, higher time frame hasn't shifted, so you want to be careful. You got strong momentum to the upside. Just looking at some other pairs. What do we have? CAD, CHF. Where are we at with this? Still not much. Still waiting for it to come back into this area. Nothing with CAD, JPY. Right, guys, markets are pretty dead, pretty quiet. I don't think I'm going to stay on till NYSE. I think I'm going to jump off. We have our pairs that we're kind of looking at. So once some of those things play out or come closer to playing out, I'll kind of let you guys know. Like I said, GJ, this is a decent area. It's holding, so manage risk, but I think we could definitely see this bit of liquidity being swept and price at least coming into this area of supply to take partials at like 163,655, and then we could see price pushing above to sweep out liquidity here to mitigate 164,100 region. But yeah, apart from that, the rest of the stuff just waiting for things to play out, and then take it from there. So yeah, US 30, just be mindful. Yeah, I would personally just say wait for going back to lower time frame. I would just say personally wait for the low to be taken here, and then some sort of retracement. So then you're trading the hourly pullback, which was this big push up. But the safer trade is going to be buyers back down here. You know, you do not have to trade the shorts. You know, if and when price gets back here, this is a safer trade. You know, that's where I'm looking at overall. Not saying you can't trade part of the pullback, but just be careful. You want to see structural change before you trade the pullback. If price is still bullish, higher time frame. By higher time frame, I mean at least a 15 minutes. Then trading a pullback is very risky. Just because we see like a 3-minute level of supply here doesn't really mean it's gonna hold up. Price could react from it and then break through. So yeah, I will definitely start to get more regular with YouTube streams. How regular, we'll see how it kind of goes. But at least I've got it working and things are looking good. So have a nice day, trade safe, and I'll catch up with you guys soon in Discord. Take it easy, guys.